Hello everyone, we'll be taking a look at the Fantasy Weapons Mega Pack in this video. Now at the time of me recording this video, it was the October sale, but I wasn't able to upload because I was busy. Normally it goes for around $40 and there is a permanently free sample that contains a few weapons that you can try out. This is the demonstration level. You can see the castles and the surrounding with the landscape. And these are modular, the gate. And you go into the weaponry. I think this is like an extra room. The barrels and stuff. You go to the main whole building and you can see it's very dark when using lumen. So you have to increase the exposure compensation. So yeah, nice demonstration in my opinion. And each room contains a couple of different type of weapons. This one contains shields, mace, swords, some axes. The next one contains muskets, some fantasy weapons, and there are crossbows, different type of bows, quivers, arrows. And one thing to mention is that for most of these weapons, the skeletal mesh versions or the wrecked versions are also included. This room contains staffs and some potions. The next room is for the pole arms and the hammers. Now there was no overview level, so I had to make my own. In the left side, these are the skeletal meshes. On the right side are the static meshes. You see there are lots of meshes, I think around 220 something, if I'm not mistaken, for the static meshes alone. There are many different weapons, daggers. And the quality actually is not bad, the texture is not bad. However, it's not perfect, I'm gonna get into that, but first let's take a look at the collision. For the skeletal mesh, it's basic, and for the static meshes, it's not that impressive. So yeah, the collisions could be better. And you can see most details are from the normal maps. And yeah, these building parts are modular. And as can be seen in the wireframe, these are somewhat low poly weapons. And getting a little bit closer to the weapons on the skeletal mesh side, although they are same, but you can see because of the low poly nature, there are sharp edges. I wish that it was a bit more higher poly and a bit smoother. It's only more apparent in weapons that have sharp edges. Now looking at the folder structure, we got blueprints, which is just material related stuff, and particle systems, which are old cascade system, map, materials, meshes, and the skeletal meshes are separate, and some of the icon textures here, and the alpha is also included as a mask, and these are non-standard or non-power of 2 textures, typically small because they are icons. Also the grid is also included. As for normal other textures, we got 189, 4K 65, 2K 7, 1K 2256. And only a few textures have alpha channels, but they're mainly for the particle system. As for the meshes, the vertices, they're generally very low poly. I think almost all of them are below 10,000, and most of them are just one material slot. A few of them have LODs. There are these couple of meshes with extra unused UV channel. As for the skeletal meshes, they do have like a grip bone, although it's not, the bone is there, but the bone haven't been weighted. Probably there for attachment. I mean, sockets are more suitable for such a thing. However, some meshes like that bow or crossbow are functionally rigged, along with this book, if are rotated on the correct axis. And for the musket, the hammer and the trigger are erect, or it's called flintlock here. As for the materials, they are master materials on the one of the landscape have a material instance. Customization is basically non-existent for most part. So taking a look at the UVs, you can see that the symmetrical or same parts are being used on the same UV space on both sides, which is a good thing considering that it saves a lot of texture space. And I won't say about packing in this case because this weapon of the texture of this weapon is being shared by multiple meshes. Same for this one. But yeah, the same or symmetrical parts are being reused. As for the crossbow, you may think that it's not, but it's actually been overlapped on both of this part, but you have to change the selection in the UV editor to triangles. One problem I noticed was that the most of the weapons, they have this kind of gloss because the roughness value is lower than what it should be, so it's too smooth. I usually use the power node on the roughness and change the value to something less than 1. It becomes more subtle and actually much more better looking. So let's try it on this one as well. Take the G channel because it's packed into ORM texture. And it actually makes some of the details on the blade pop up, so it's better looking now. And I checked it, and sRGB is not enabled by default, so they are already in a linear color space. Overall, I think it's a great pack if you can get it on sale because of the variety of weapons that it includes. And also the texture icons and the skeletal mesh counterparts are also included. The UVs are being reused or overlapped on the more symmetrical parts. And the texturing is okayish, kind of leans towards stylized a little bit. And on the downside, I would say the low poly nature of the modeling. Although the modeling itself is not bad, but I just wish that it had more vertices, so the sharp edges would be smoother. No animation is included. There is basically no material customization, and no material instance is being used. Roughness, I think it needs to be increased because as it is too smooth. As for VFX, it's using the old Cascade system instead of Niagara. And the collision leaves something to be desired. Oh, and I think I forgot about the folder size of this pack. It's about 3.9 gigabytes. And that should be it. Hope you liked it. Have a great night.